This is the same garden and we're just updating, and look at all the pots. So we've got fruit sage, rosemary, 3 parsleys, oregano transplanted, and these ones are lemon verbena. I planted these at my uni and they just taste like lemon, and they'll actually grow 2 to 3 meters. And so I'm just starting them in the pots, or you could probably leave them in those pots. And this is a lemon Maya. This was $40, this one. It's a lemon Maya, and you can eat the blossoms. So you can eat these blossoms. And here's a kumquat. So that's a quite large pot. I don't know how many litres that pot is. You can see my hand there. And actually got a hibiscus. It's got a red flower, which is closed up since I transplanted it, but still there. I'm going to start a compost pile. And here's a passion fruit vine, black passion fruit, Australian, a pawpaw, another pawpaw, and then here's like a herb garden, and I just mixed the soil with potting mix, and it was like clay soil, so it was like when I was adding the potting mix to the clay soil, it was sort of like acting like clay breaker. Here's some society garlic, which I don't think is edible. We're putting onion scraps up here to regrow onions. That's a kitchen scrap you can regrow, and I've also got a whole video on about 20 kitchen scraps that you can regrow. There's some lavender. Very nice lavender. I would even eat some of those flowers on the top. And that's a ground cover, which I forgot the name of. And there is cress, just land cress. We're not allowed to get watercress in Australia because it's proliferates and is called like a noxious weed and stuff. And you just put it in water and it grows. So if you can get your hands on watercress, I recommend growing it because it's just easy to grow and it's an edible. And here's rainbow chard. What's it called again? Bronze fennel, isn't it? No. Oh, I forgot what it's called. Hey Linda, what's this one called again? I've got a mind. Yeah, it is. Hey. Bronze, yeah, it's bronze fennel. That's the one that goes really good. So there's bronze fennel. I forgot the name. There's some thyme. There's some more ground cover. I'm putting it near the grass to help it compete with the grass and keep this bed from getting overtaken by the grass. So this will be a tight ground cover, so it can help stop the grass invading this bed. And there's more tomato. Now asparagus here, it's not dill, it's asparagus, and it's perennial, so it just keeps popping back every year, so you can eat it and they'll spring back. Just leave some in there and they'll spring back, and every year after year. Here's some pennyroyal, which is edible, and apparently it's a deterrent of fleas and stuff too, maybe, and ticks, says someone else. There's aloe vera. More passion fruit vine, nasturtium, which gets yellow, orange and red flowers. Some combo lettuce, red mustard, and there's more wild arugula. I really like this one, that's really good for you. And here's the toothache plant Spilanthes. This is not Bindens pilosa, which I found was another toothache plant. But this is Spilanthes. And you choose some of these bulbs when they grow really large. This plant's looking really poor and we just bought it. so it'll grow a lot larger and have bigger bulbs, and you chew a few of those when they're bigger and it heals a toothache or numbs your mouth a bit, takes the pain away. There's perpetual spinach or baby spinach, there's chervil, just tastes a little bit like licorice like, and some shallots, pardon me, some sweet marjoram, some more combo lettuce, some more arugula, marigolds for pest control, some Thai basil, which tasted the best to me out of the 4 basils that I had to pick from, and Japanese parsley, which is thick and good for like stir fries, and that will take over this bed, and so will the basil. And there's a Suriname cherry here, which will end up, I'll put it here because it can end up growing like a bush, and it's really succulent cherries, about so large. You can make cakes, pies, whatever, and eat them fresh, and they when they come on, they keep coming on, so you can like continually harvest when they start being ripe, and they'll take a few years to like cover there, and you can make it be like a bush, but an edible bush. So you could grow these at schools, and the kids would realise that they can have food plants everywhere, and hopefully 22nd century. 22nd century. So this is what's it actually called? Dynamic lifter, and it's organic plant food, and it's got stuff like composted manure, blood and bone, fish meal and seaweed. Now in the last part of the video I showed seaweed, the kelp meal, and I was looking at what this contains, the analysis of this, the assay, and this one has far less calcium, and there's not much magnesium or iron in it too. You can see the decimal place there, so it's got that much nitrogen and phosphorus. See, now the reason I got this was because we needed more nutrients and stuff, but now I'm looking at this. I was looking at the like kelp meal as compared to this, and the kelp meal was like 24%. Sorry, it was actually the seagull and bat guano pellets that were like 25% calcium, and you know, this is why you want to use rock dust, because it contains a lot more of these type of things, not just nitrogen and phosphorus, which is like in everything. And so that's why I recommend the rock dust, like wide spectrum, so you get all those type of minerals and trace elements in the soil, not just the 3 nitrogen, phosphorus and what's the other one, potassium, because they're in all of the like chemical fertilizers and stuff, and it's just not good enough. And sometimes they contain too high concentrations of just those 3. It can burn too, like when you just plant in the potting mix that's like $2.50 from Bunnings Warehouse here in Australia. That's not really good idea because it burns the plants, and especially during transplant shock, when you just move a plant, you're meant to water it a lot and not really put it in like, you know, rough nutrient, like really dense nutrient soil straight away like that, and it sometimes burn them. Like we had a couple of burnings here. The other lemon verbena got burnt. There's the surviving one. I also I think I put too much of the stuff for the fruit trees in there, and that helps burn them too. That's the same thing. And this one over here, the parsley, suffered like that too, but it's just survived. And I noticed some of these little seedlings when we were planting them, like see, this one that should be really bright green, and that one's like dying over there because they've been a little bit buried in the soil there, and before I washed it out a lot, it was quite burning them, the nutrient burning on the roots and stuff. So we've added more since the last update. Like I've got some more red lettuce, lots more combo lettuce in here, that kind of combo lettuce, Toscana kale and some other kale. And we got a lot more little trees. Now, I just planted, so here's the Suriname bush cherry. You can also watch Luke Stiles' video. It's titled like Luke Stiles creating food forest and the benefit of the Suriname cherry, the Brazilian Suriname bush cherry, and it's a wild cherry that gets like this large, and we can see it. And so that one I put it here because we can make it into like a hedge, but it's edible, so it's not just a look pretty ornamental mental hedge. So it looks pretty. And so this one is an Australian bush cherry as well, and you can see how thick its stem is at such a young age. It's going to grow quite big. This one actually I got from out near Yukai at just a little at a person's house, not even like a shop, a proper shop, and it was $3 only, and it's going to grow up to 30 meters, and how much food that will provide will be amazing. It's a bush cherry, something Australis. The other one I showed you, the Suriname around there, was a Brazilian one. And here's a tamarind tree, Bunji tamarind. So here's how you spell it. In the shade. Don't know if you can see that. It says B-O-O-N-J-E-E tamarind, Bunji tamarind. So that's that little guy there, and that was also only $3. So I thought that's going to grow into a quite big tree and provide a lot of food for $3. And so I've planted these in straight good soil, not potting mix. I used potting mix to make like a base on the veggie garden, but then we nutritionalized it over and over and over again, and we got that more soil conditioner here to put over there as well, to just keep adding nutrition to it. And actually what I did at the start, and so see I've made a base with a lot of potting mix, but we're adding nutrients over and over, and at the start what I did was dig down into the ground about a foot and mix up the clay there, because the clay will also have minerals all through it that the plants will like if they can get to it, and it's pretty hard. So when you mix it up and then put potting mix and soil and all the stuff I've put in here with it, you know, it becomes really mineral rich and stuff, soil, and really good soil. And the thing is, once you mix it, the roots can actually move through there, because before, you know, when it was just the hard clay, it's like this stuff here, and it's just too hard. You need to it's too hard for their little roots to move through when it's down there, and you need to mix it up and throw it along the surface too, because it's got minerals, so you can actually use that like a little bit of a soil fertilizer too. And what else did we get? I think we showed you when we got the rainbow chard and the lavender and stuff. Yes, we've got that Toscana kale, and yeah, all these other little trees from this place near Yukai. In case I didn't show you the kohlrabi, there's the kohlrabi. We got that the other day too for them, and the kohlrabi is actually cruciferous, and so that's it there, and you can eat the leaves, and it contains indole 3-carbinol, so look into that. Indole 3-carbinol is very good for us. I remember hearing such people as David Wolf, that health guru guy, talking about it, and yeah, that's definitely a good one and very healthy. Now these are the other ones that we got from the Yukai place. Now this is a rye berry, so there's another little fruit, and these were $3, and this was $1.50, but I've forgotten what it was, and she didn't give me the tag. I forgot to get the tag for this one off her so I could remember what it was. But this was $1.50, so I bought 3 of them, and that's awesome for $1.50, because it's going to turn into a tree with edible fruit-bearing fruit. And you can see there's that the Hessian sort of hay thing here, and so I'll put some combo lettuce in it and some chives. And yeah, we're getting blasted here with like 40-degree heat, so I've moved a lot of the pots back here so they get a little bit of half shade and sort of protect each other with a bit of shade and stuff as well. Oh, and here's another one that we got from that place at Yukai. It's called the Burdukan plum. Burdukan plum. So that's that little guy here. Burdukan plum. So that's a little plum tree. That was only $3 again. So if anyone's local in Australia, near the Gold Coast or North New South Wales, or drives along that road out towards Nimbin, it's really nice to stop the first left in Yukai, that first left there towards the eco village and the eco sustainable stuff down there. Only about 1 kilometre down the road there's a lady's house, and she sells all these cheap tree starts. And now here's a black sapote. Now that's just a seedling, that's the chocolate fruit, the black persimmon, and it falls under black sapote apparently, even though it's a persimmon. And I've recovered that from out where I planted a lot of trees at the wood chip spot, just to make sure it survives, because it is pretty rare. And I thought I'll give it to these guys so at least it'll survive, because I couldn't go out there and water it as much as it needs, I think. I put that out near Yukai for Iona Voice, so we just want to make sure it lives. Doesn't matter where it lives. And I've moved my little chili plant down here. It's a little chili plant. Rainbow chilies. And yeah, so I just wanted to really show what was in this stuff. So it says, in this segment, so it says fruit trees apply 500 grams each year of the tree's age, up to 5 kilograms, once in spring and again in autumn. Place in shallow holes spread over the root area of the tree. You can use it on other ornamental shrubs and roses. So you can read that there. Starting 10 centimeters from the plant trunk, apply 100 gram per square meter. And they reckon that your hand holds about 75 grams, so it's about a handful. So sorry about that, but the memory cut out. So there's the choco fruit from the vine that I was just showing you. And so that's going to trellis up the fence there, and I'll put that there for them, and that's what we'll get from that. So that's pretty awesome. I haven't tasted it yet though. So there's the choco, and it sort of tastes a little bit like capsicum, but waterier and less spicy like capsicum, and yeah, kind of bland and like vegetable like, and yeah, it's kind of nice though. There's kind of a bit of sweet flavour there. It's a little bit sweet. Not bad. I can definitely eat them. Alright guys, so there's just another little update. Or pardon my elocution, it's actually pronounced choco, not choco. Choco. And here's cute honey bear. Hey honey bear. Hey. Come here. Hello, honey bear. And there's a set of rainbow lorikeets. Look at the cute guys. Oh, there's more. I wonder what they're looking for. And look, the arugula's got its flowers. Wild rocket arugula. I don't know what they're looking for. So this is kind of like a week 3 update, but I just mainly want to talk about the compost pile. So there's the compost pile. It's just been building. Everything's growing pretty well. A few things like this one kind of mint, I've put extra protection from the sun over it. You can see it's just really shriveling. Probably won't make it, but I'm going to try. And so the stuff on the top's the dynamic lifter that you saw previously. And I just wanted to say, like, it's a good idea to do this for many reasons. Like the previous segment you saw where there was the rainbow lorikeets, even rainbow lorikeets, those nice birds being attracted by all the activity of wildlife. I don't know if you can see right in front of me, there's little flies flying around. But, you know, for instance, that's life. And so the dynamic lifter's got a lot of manure and stuff in there, and so that's attracting life in general. And when I looked really closely over here the other day into one of these pots, I saw a lot of microbial life, or not microbial, but getting there, you know, really small little insects, really tiny, smaller than little ants and stuff. I don't know what they were. And so the point is just creating life, but also this is going to turn into really good soil, this compost pile, so we don't have to buy more expensive soil. Now you can see how crap this soil is. This is just crap soil. It's just been sitting here, you know, not looked after, and it's just devoid of nutrients and stuff. So I've put the dynamic lifter on there. Now the point about a compost pile is you want about 50% carbon, 50% nitrogen, and you want to keep moving it. You need to keep aerating it. So right now I was just shoveling some around, and see, we've even got cardboard in here and paper. You can do that too, because that's carbon. And so things like wood chips and stuff are carbon, and so like things like kitchen scraps and grass, they're nitrogen. So you want to mix the nitrogen and the carbon 50% roughly. And yeah, so what we're doing here is making our own soil. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take, because I've never made my own compost pile, but it's already getting underway. Just before, when I was moving some of the dirt, I can see that it's all getting a little bit more dark. So it's starting to all meld together and break down after only about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then yesterday we added like another layer of paper and stuff, and I put some more dirt over it and some dynamic lifter, which has got like phosphorus and stuff in there. So I just put that there to nutritionalize the pile a bit and attract more flies and stuff and insects, because that, you know, then they'll attract the lizards, and the lizards attract the birds, and it's called a circle of life. It's pretty easy to understand. And so yeah, you want to make sure you get plenty of grass in the pile. I don't have much in here, and I'm gonna just try and throw more and more grass on, because it really seems to activate the compost pile pretty good. And lots of kitchen scraps. Now that's what's going to make it like nutritional soil and re-nutritionalize the soil, because the kitchen scraps have all sorts of vitamins and minerals and nutrients in them, and so that's going to rejoin the soil and make this crappy soil and all our waste products into some really good soil we can use for our good plants. And so let's just go over and have a look at our good plants, all the food plants. So all the leaves on the chard and stuff are getting bigger. The chocolate mint's growing really well. After the first 2 weeks it wasn't doing that well, and it just suddenly burst up. We've had really hot days here. This stevia is not doing the best. I have to come out here and water these plants every day. I do it like twice a day, because it's been just clear skies and spring, and quite a drought here in Queensland, Australia, South Queensland. And what's the date? October 2013. And so we're gonna, you know, just put that soil over the top from the compost pile. When it's done, I'd expect in at least a couple of weeks I'll have to wait for this to break down a bit better to be able to start using it. And yeah, so things are going pretty well here though. You can see the extra leaves after a couple of weeks on here. So obviously they just grow quicker and quicker. You know, the more leaves they have, the more they can photosynthesize, which is, remember, their food. You just got to make sure you give them water and nutrients in the soil too. And that's why we're doing the compost pile, because we need good soil. You can't just grow in potting mix, for instance. You need to re-nutritionalize the soil and add extra nutrients so that you're healthy and your soil and your plants are healthy. Also, healthy plants protect themselves against, you know, their predators and stuff a bit better. Or they might be able to manufacture their sunscreen a bit better if they've got that extra mineral that they need or whatever. So just like you are what you eat, the plants are what they eat, so you want good soil. Now the lettuces have been going off. They've been going really good. I take a couple of these every day. A lemon verbena's really gone really good. So that's lemon verbena. That's like one of my favourite edible, like you can just take the leaves and it tastes like zesty lemon, and you can take that off and just chew that by itself. You don't have to cook it or anything, and that's been going really good because I've been watering it. It's even shot up extra growth. So yeah, you want to get the life going around your plants. So this is going to attract, like I said, the flies. I don't know if you can see them. Probably, yep. And you know, that'll attract things like lizards, and then the lizards will attract things like the birds that we saw in the previous segment. And I don't know if you noticed how nice that was to get visited by those colourful little guys, but I enjoyed it. And so yeah, I'm not sure how long exactly before I can use this soil, but I'd expect it to be a couple more weeks. And I'm just going to keep turning it every probably, I don't know, I'll probably turn it every couple of days, wait a couple of days, or I don't know, half a week or a week, and then turn it thoroughly, mix up the whole pile, keep adding your kitchen scraps and stuff, you know, anything that's organic like that from the kitchen scraps, and that is really good to re-nutritionalize it and so on. And yeah, that was just a little, this is sort of week 3 update. It's been about 3 weeks since we sort of put this all in. You can see I put stones along the edge here too, extra stones to stop that grass invading so much, because it's just wanting to crawl up into the really good soil to get the nutrients for itself. So you might have to think about things like that too. But yeah, we've got some really nice plants growing here. The nasturtium's going good after just 3 weeks. It's got about almost 10 extra leaves, and that one, that's all. Oh look, we got some sprouts coming up too. I put some sprouts in there, some mung bean sprouts and stuff, as you can see here. That lemon mint's going fantastic. So yeah, the dandelions just shot up here. And I usually tell by their greens because they have the elongated leaves. There's another close relative, and I've got a video called identifying dandelions and fake dandelions as well on YouTube, and I identify them mostly by like the elongated leaf, because the other toxic similar, it's similar to a dandelion, but it's not a dandelion, it's a similar flower and everything, has more stubby leaves, so I usually try and identify it by the long leaves mainly, not just the flower. Now they're really starting to all take off in week 3. Before that they were probably just getting settled in and rooting and getting over transplant shock, but now they'll all start to grow really big leaves and start to work on their roots a lot. You can see a lot of leaves have expanded. These leaves are much larger now. I've eaten a couple. Little things like that. And that's why this is sort of a permaculture mindset planting too, because I'm thinking about the layers of permaculture layers, you know, just like the forest grows with layers and layers of trees, you know, you've got your ground covers, your shrubs, and then your trees, so on. And your vinous plants like the passion fruits and so forth, and kind of like the tomatoes. And then the nasturtium's just going to really proliferate, and it'll just go everywhere that you let it go. So that's a good one, because it'll just keep spreading, and it's, you know, you can put a couple of leaves in every salad. I'd probably almost make a quarter of the leaves in my salad with that, because I like the flavour of nasturtium. I've actually eaten salads just with nasturtium. And the kale and stuff's doing okay. A few new leaves coming up. That's only about a week and a half old though. So we just keep adding things. If anything dies, you can just replace the spot with a new plant. And just keep building the soil. So that's why I started making a compost pile, and because we had a solar powered lights, solar powered stars along the fence. So So these are the little slugs that are attacking the kale. And I spat out the other piece because, yeah, can you see the little ones? They're really small. I don't know if the camera, oh yeah, the camera can see them. Just there. And there's even smaller ones down on that leaf on the other side. But that's how small they are. And then the other day I saw them about 5 times the size of that. So I don't know how large they get, but they're multiplying. So we can lay copper wire around like the bottom of the plant and it shocks them as they come over the copper, and we can put pellets out in the mailbox. That's what we're going to do here. And what else? Oh, you can watch Mariah Starr's $30 Bandit video on exhaustive list of pest controls, where I've listed other remedies for these specific slugs. And there's a white butterfly checking out the nasturtium. Now the kale. Checking out the hanging baskets. The first nasturtium flower, the red one. Oh, she's checking out the whole garden. And the other kale. She sat down on the other kale. The nasturtium and the 2 kales and the tomato plant. Oh, she's a wild one. Flying up again to have a look up there at those flowers, the marigold flowers. Looks like she's saying, oh, wonderful. Quite excited there. And after 3 weeks we got some strawberries. Does it taste yummy? That one looks ripe. That's after 3 weeks. So here's one good thing about growing these lettuces that we've got here in this mesh bag. Combo lettuces. This just fell off, and it's another little lettuce, see? It's actually grown 2 leaves already. It only had this leaf and that leaf, and it's grown these other 2 leaves over the last like 2 days really.